My wife flying in today to Germany so we can be reunited after 7 months reminds me of the first time she flew to Europe when we were caught in, and that was to Paris, where I was living and working at the time. So I went to meet her at Charles de Gaulle Airport, and I turned up and waited and waited, and it was over an hour, so I went and asked for information, and eventually I managed to speak to an immigration officer in my pidgin French. I ascertained that she'd been moved to what he described as a police hotel, which was a facility where she'd be well looked after, and I could go and visit, and people just hung out and played pool or whatever. So it took me a while to find that place, because I was using public transport and it involved a lot of walking. But eventually I found the facility, and it turned out that it was behind barbed wire and 12-foot fences, and it was basically a detention centre where they had taken her. Now, she had arrived in France with all of the correct documentation. She'd arrived with fully insured. She had a guarantee from me that I would support every aspect of her visit, and of course she'd been granted a Schengen visa. But for some reason, the immigration officer on duty had denied her right to entry and had sent her to this detention centre. So after 2 days of me doing my very best to get her out and bringing friends along with me in order to speak proper French to the officers, she was taken to court, and she appeared in court, and the judge threw it out immediately and released her. And it's just terrible that people are treated like that. She'd done nothing wrong. She'd come in genuinely. She'd come in with all of the correct paperwork. But perhaps because she's a black African, one might speculate she was refused entry to France.